Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming here today. And I'm honored to have you all here. This is Detox Your Mind retreat, one day retreat. And yes, let's detox your minds. So that's the purpose of our retreat. So ladies and gentlemen, in my journey to become a monk, when I was become a monk, I actually didn't have this kind of understanding literally 2.5 years ago, but because of the association of our teachers and because of the noble friends that I associated throughout my life as a monk in our monastery, I have gained whatever the understanding of that, whatever the truth that we can say it has a truth in this world. Just I need to ask from you, how many truths are there in the world? Millions of truths or one truth? What do you think? Truth is a truth is a truth, should be the truth. There shouldn't be two truths. You can say like relative truth and absolute truth. Relative truths will be millions, because some truths are relative to your belief set, your understanding, but these are relative truths. But how about absolute truth? It's not absolute alcohol. It should be 100% the truth, isn't it? Yeah. I was always keen on finding a, when I was a kid, I had a chance to read the Bible. Even though I grew up as a Buddhist, I had a chance to go through the Bible and Bhagavad Gita and all these religious textbooks, and I was curious about understanding the science of this world. So that's why I chose to become a scientist, right? And I went to the university and I studied in biochemistry and all these biophysics, because I was always wanted to find what is actually happening in this world. When I was going through these religions, different books, I felt they are talking about different things. In Quran you will find a God, Almighty God, His name is Allah. The person who has explained about the Allah is Nabi, Muhammad Nabi. And how about in the Bible? You will find the God, Almighty God, right? The Jesus have explained about the God. And He is the son of the God, son. And in the Buddhist textbooks, we don't find any God, but Buddha is talking about this karma and all these theories, something that actually drives this world. And when we come to the science, of course we have theories. And also I had this doubt, ladies and gentlemen, even though in science they say random events, how do you define random? Random events, when you say random events, what do you think about random events? Is these events are truly random? Those events are truly random, or you don't understand the causes? If you can't explain the causes, if you can't explain the theory behind that event, then we can say it's random. But random doesn't mean it's random, because it has causes, it has some like causes that led to that incident. Do you understand this? So actually truly, if you can say, okay, these mutations are random mutations, because I studied about DNA, when we say random mutations, I don't feel that they are random, because even though you can say random, then you can happily go like move forward to give explanation about the other things. When we say random, it's a random event. Okay, yes, we understood. Okay, now we can go forward. But actually, random event is not a random event, because it has some causes that you can't see, you can't perceive, you can't grasp, you can't actually catch it. Do you understand this? So when we say random event, I felt like this is also like put into God. Okay, God has created this world, okay, no question. Random event, no question. So you can't question about random events, right? Because they are random. Have you all worked with Excel? Microsoft Excel? You can generate random number, right? When you generate random number, is that number is random number, or there's an algorithm that generated that number? So ladies and gentlemen, it's not a random number, right? There's a meaning behind it. There's a causes behind it. There's an algorithm behind that, how to generate a number. Got it? This was my curious. Like I was curious about what actually happens here. And throughout the time, I didn't find a proper explanation, ladies and gentlemen, that all the religions, all the theories that people have explained, right, actually they are talking about the truth. The Newton's laws are discussing about the truth. The Jesus is explaining about the truth. That's why he said, truth will set you free. So he has understood the truth. That's why he explained in Jerusalem what he has found. Buddha has understood the truth. Now, this is the $1,000,000 question. All these truths are different truths, or they are relative truths, or they have found the absolute truth, or yes, absolute truth. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the answer. Yes. When you go through Bible, when you go through Quran, when you go through all these religions and science, it explains everything. It's the same thing that everyone explains. But nobody knows it, but everybody is explaining the same thing, but nobody can't actually find it out. You have to read between the lines to surface the meaning, to understand the meaning, to understand what the Bible means by saying truth will set you free. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, you need to detox, you need to get rid of the toxic things out of your mind in order to find this reality. Our minds are ignorant. Our minds are ignorant because of that we don't perceive, we don't see, we don't grasp, we don't feel the reality as it is. All these religious leaders, spiritual people who has explained something to this world, they have tried to explain what they experience with different wordings, but they explain the same thing. So it doesn't matter whether you believe in God, whether you believe in Buddha, whether you believe in Lord Krishna, whether you believe in Taoism, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what you have to face is the same exam. We all were born as a human beings, ladies and gentlemen. We all live as a human beings. And when we pass away, whatever the exam that you are going to face is the same exam that I am going to face. Right? Because there is no different exams for different belief sets. For example, even though you believe, like 400 years ago, nobody believes about microorganisms. 400 years ago, because after microscope has invented, then people found, okay, there are microorganisms. After Newton introduced the third law, or the first law, Newton's laws, right? People came to know about the gravity, but gravity existed before Newton explained it, isn't it? That's why, ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand the truth. We need to realize the truth. We need to find what actually happens here. That's logical, that's scientific, that's something explainable, that when you explain to yourself, when you can explain to yourself what actually happens here, ladies and gentlemen, that's the way to liberate yourself from all the sufferings. Your mind has to understand what actually happens in this world. I know that everybody here studied something during your school or university. You have studied something. In these studies, like you will learn about theories that explains how this world operates. The physics explains about the physical things. Chemistry explains about the small molecules and how they interact and how they behave. The biology or zoology or botany, those subjects, they explains how the living organisms functions. But did we study about mind? Ladies and gentlemen, in order to understand physics, in order to understand chemistry, in order to understand biology, economic, sociology, anything, you need to understand about the mind, because you are using the mind to understand about the biology. Isn't it? You are using a mind to understand, to build a theory that explains what actually happens in the biological system, because you are using your mind to think. Is there a subject called mindology? When I was in the UK, I had a chance to give a session, a church called Church of Scientology. I think you might have come across that. It's a new modern religion, like modern religion that I think his name is Hudson Rubber or some, I can't remember his name, that he has actually explained. He has combined the science plus Bible, and he explained something in between that. Actually that works really well, and it aligns with whatever that we discuss in the Buddhism as well. Ladies and gentlemen, all the religions, all the rituals that people follow, right, they are directing to understand about the mind. Actually, these rituals, whatever the offerings, you know, the church, the songs, what do you call it? Chantings? Hymns. All these things are directing to find the reality. Actually, we didn't feel that. When I was young, my mom asked me to, let's go to temple, right? My mom always forced me to go to the temple and then we worship. And I was always questioning, why do we have to worship these statues? I was questioning with my mom why we have to worship and why we have to chant these chantings. What is the logic behind this? But ladies and gentlemen, when my teacher explained everything to me in 2018, after that, when I was following my teacher, then now I know the logic behind that offerings. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody is. When you understand what actually happens with your mind, ladies and gentlemen, right, then you will understand actually the logic behind all these things that we have been doing since we were born. Every rituals are directing yourself to understand the reality. All the religions are directing yourself to understand the reality. But the thing is, in order to understand the reality, you need to find a teacher, you need to have a teacher, you need to understand, you need to follow a teacher. If you don't follow a teacher, if you don't have a teacher for your life, then you won't be able to understand the reality. You won't be able to realize the reality, what actually happens. Ladies and gentlemen, even though we think that we know the reality, even though we think we know what actually happens in this world, we don't know anything. Today I will prove to you, we didn't know anything about this world. All the science and everything that people so far understood actually directing this direction, but reality is in this direction. In the Bible it explains about this, in the science you can find this, but people perceive it in this way, in the opposite way. This is where the truth, this is where we go. But in order to understand this, we had to do some rituals, some activities before the lunch, and after the lunch I will explain the theory, I will explain the concept, and towards the end of the day I will show you how to practice it. Sounds like a plan? The first session is the introduction, and I am going to condition yourself to understand this theory, understand the reality, to detox you guys. And in the next session, like the session after the lunch, we will explain the theory that explains everything in this world, theory of everything. It's not Stephen Hawking's theory of everything, but this is the theory of everything. That what I realize, not by myself, don't know, I can't do that, because of my teacher. You're going to understand, you're going to listen, you're going to feel if you have enough merits. I'm 100% sure, ladies and gentlemen, you came here because you deserve this. Otherwise, you won't come here. When we land in Christchurch or any place, I always wish or determine to myself, like, if anyone who has enough merits, who has done something to understand this theory that we explains, and we understood, and we, because of that, I am experiencing inner peace. Right? If anybody has this merits to understand this, I determine, I make a resolve to myself that these people will come in front of us, so they will understand this. May they understand whatever that we felt, we realized from our teachers. We are doing this out of compassion, ladies and gentlemen. This is ultimate compassion. I don't know, I haven't experienced this kind of compassion during my life as a lay person, like as a before becoming a monk. I loved someone, I had a wife, but now I can love everybody without any conditions. The love that I had before, the love that I was giving before, is actually not pure love, it's a false love. Because it's conditioned. But now, I love you all without any condition. Even you didn't come here, it's fine, I'm happy. Whether you come here or not, whether you understand this or not, doesn't change my happiness, because my happiness is not aligned with whether you understood this or not. This is what I have gained from my teachers, this is what I have gained from the Lord Buddha. I haven't done yet, I'm on the path. I'm completing myself, but that's why we came here, to help you to liberate yourself, because your duty and your responsibility is there to liberate yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You were born as a human being, you were born as someone who has a mind, that mind has an ability to liberate that mind from ignorance. You know, human beings have a special ability, that human beings are capable of thinking. Human beings, animals, they don't have this ability to think. Thinking means like self-realization. Animals doesn't have any ability to self-realize. Do you think that dog is thinking about itself? What happened to me? Do you think that they do like that? No. But we have this ability to realize, self-realize what actually going in ourselves, like within mind. But the thing is, we haven't used that ability throughout our lives. Instead of using that ability, we have been researching and we have been searching about the outside world. Socrates, you know, the Greek, the Socrates once said, you don't have to go through mountains, you don't have to search about planets, and you don't have to search about this whole world. What you have to find, what you have to search, what you have to research is your mind. Because when you research about your mind, when you realize about your mind, that will end all researchers. But the thing is, nobody knows. Nobody knew what actually happens here. People have come to this world and they explain different way, but nobody actually truly realize it. Everybody has this problem. When we were born, nobody explained to us what actually happens to us. Now go back to your kindergarten and think about, did your mother explain to you, my son, this is how you feel anger? Or did she explain to you, when you feel anger, what to do? Think about this. When you get angry, what you have to do? So you have millions of solutions for that anger. You can punch, you can shout, you can scream, you can cry, you can count from 1 to 10 and 10 to 1 to calm down yourself. Have you done that? You can do meditation. Every law, every being may be there at peace. Likewise, meditation, breathing meditation. So we know many solutions for anger, but we don't know how anger manifests in the mind. We have a solution for lust, grief, cravings, annoyance. We have solution, but we don't know how these negative emotions manifest in the mind. We are trying to find solution for stress. We are all the scientific community, the people who are doing mental health, research scientists, they are trying to find a solution for depression, a cure for depression. But nobody explains how depression manifests in the mind. Do you understand this? Einstein once said, if he has 1 hour to find a solution for a problem, he will spend 55 minutes understanding the problem, 5 minutes to find a solution. But in our case, what we do? 55 minutes to find solution, 5 minutes only to understand the problem. That's why we have so many solutions, but we don't know what is the problem. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know what is the true problem. We haven't realized the problem. You all have gone, like you have done exams, right? A levels, whatever the exams that you have done. Sometimes when you are hurry, you read the problem and you answered, and later you find out that it's asking something else. Have you come across this kind of situations? You answered well, you think that I answered well, and then you go to the next question, and then later when you check the question, my goodness, this answer is not the answer. What I have wrote is something completely opposite to the question, because when you read it, you were hurry, and you were hurry to answer the paper, ladies and gentlemen. You don't actually spend time on understanding, realizing what is this problem. You have this experience. When you feel mental pressure, when you feel stressful moments, do you like to stay in that stressful moment, or you try your level best to come out from the stress? What do you think? You do whatever that you can to come out from that suffering situation. You don't like to stay there. Your mind is trained to come out from that. You want to find something, let's say somebody is giving you a quick solution. Oh, that's really good. You always need 2-minute noodle solutions, ladies and gentlemen. Instant solution. How about fever, cough? Do you like to have medicine for like 3 weeks? The antibiotic course. How many days they usually antibiotics they take? 8 weeks? 8 days? 7 days? Let's say 7 days. Can you do that? Or if, like, let's say if a doctor can give you, 1 shot solution. Okay, tomorrow you will cure. Then you like to take that solution, or what do you like to take? The 7-day solution or 1-day solution? 1 day. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, so many solutions, but nobody knows the problem. I will explain this. All the problems, all the solutions that you have brought to your life, ladies and gentlemen, those solutions have created so many array of problems. Now you are trying to find solution for those problems as well. Your life is always solving problems. Do you understand? Do you agree with that? If you don't have a problem, what do? You find one, you artificially create one, and try to find the solution. You know what? My grandmother, those days, she usually come to our place once in like 2 weeks. Like she come to our place, my mom's mom. She lived in somewhere else, and she come there to our place. You know, our wardrobes, and they are nicely packed, and nothing is wrong there. Like everything is packed. You know, the clothes are beautifully like folded, and it was arranged nicely. You know, my grandmother, when she come, she take all the clothes and put it back to again to the bed, and now she is now folding again. I was actually trying to find why he is doing this, because it was okay. Then I asked her, why do you no, I don't have anything to do. So you create chaos now. It was ordered, and now you create the chaos, and now you are finding the solution. You are doing something. Now she says that he has now something to do. When you know, if you are a workaholic, especially if you spend your life like working, and so many businesses and so many projects, and if you are workaholic, right, ladies and gentlemen, let's say one day you have to retire. Let's say your company say, okay, now enough, we don't need you, could you please go? They won't say like that, right? They say, okay, sir, you have done a great job, great service to this country, this company, so we are going to offer you this much of money, huge money, right? So would you accept the pension, the retirement? Then you say, yes, you accept. The day you accept retirement, ladies and gentlemen, now you will feel an emptiness of your life. Empty. Something is now not okay. Now you have to do something, but you don't know what to do. Now you don't have any problem to solve. So those ones who retire, after retirement, they go here and there, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, they tour everywhere. When you tour everywhere, now you have so many problems, right? You have to find bookings and hotels and the flights, and when they get delayed and when they get missed, so you have to rebook again. Now you are busy. Do you have this kind of life? Shall I truly ask a question? Why do you have to work? Why are you working? To get something to eat, to live, to find a place to live. That's why you have a job. Everybody has a job or not? Everybody is doing something for their bread and butter. Everybody is doing something. Nobody is, even beggar is doing something. That's why he's begging. His job is what? Begging. Homeless people, like they do begging. Okay, that's their job. Anyway, everybody is working. Okay, I'm really kind about you guys, and I'm going to give you 100 million New Zealand dollars, each one. 100 million, 100 million, 100 million, 100 million, madam, 100 million, sir, 100 million, 100 million, 100 million. I am rich person, so I'm going to give you 100 million, 100 million, 100 million. So everybody doesn't have to work after this. 100 million is enough, isn't it, to live? Come on. 100 million is enough to pay your mortgage until you die, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, you don't have to pay mortgage. You can buy a house and you can stay there until you die. 100 million is enough. Now, the $1 million question is, can you survive without doing anything at that house? Can you stay like this? You get free food. You get everything to your table. You just have to eat and stay like this. You get the doctor if you are sick, right? Okay, he comes to you. You don't have to go to hospital. Hospital is nearby. Hospital come to you, so you don't have to even walk. Can you stay like this? Then, ladies and gentlemen, that means you can't rest in peace. I'm talking about rest in peace, like this. Why do you say that you can't survive? You know what I'm talking about, because you are not actually working because that you need money. Ladies and gentlemen, don't get deceived. Don't be deceived. You don't work because you need money. You work because you need money, but you work, ladies and gentlemen, because you can't stay at home without doing anything. When you pass the exam or something, that you work hard, and after the exam until you get marks. So this happens to me when I was at school. We have this university entrance exam. So I faced the exam. It was really tough time, right? Work like fingers to the bone, and did the exam. And the day after the exam, I was like a free as a bird, and I was like, okay, my life will be cool as a cucumber, free as a bird. But ladies and gentlemen, after 2 days staying at home without doing anything, I start to feel it's like burning in my mind. Do you have this kind of like experience? Then you go on holidays, you do something now because you can't stay. Right now, I can prove to you, if I stay like this for 5 minutes, you will take your phone and go through the phone. You will start going through the phone because you don't know how to survive in this venue without doing anything. You will at least change these positions, ladies and gentlemen, because of what? Actually, there's no pain from your body, but you change the postures because you feel some relief to the mind. I think some of you guys I met last time when I was traveling. Did I come to Christchurch last time? This year? Yes. I came, right? Yes. And around April, yes. I don't know now which year is 2025 and 2026 this. I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen, because I spent 2 months in the monastery. That's August and September. So this is now, I started traveling again 6th of October, still I am traveling. The other day I explained to one of your member, like the organizer, I think I have spent most of my time in the airports. Traveling, jumping here and there, going here and there. Anyway, when I came to the monastery after the last tour, my teacher said, okay, I have a challenge for you. My teacher told me that he has a challenge for me, and I said, okay, what is the challenge? Because I was going here and there, I was very busy with organizing the next tour. Giving calls and contacting these people and these things. My teacher said, Mahinda Thero, I have a challenge for you. What? You have to stay 18 hours in one place. 6 hours for sleep, so 18 hours in one place, in the meditation hall, one place, one walking track. You can go to the toilet, we'll provide you food, the tea and everything there. You just have one water bottle, you don't have to listen to anything, you don't have any earpods or anything, without any laptop or anything, you just stay there for 18 hours. Would you accept this challenge? When teacher says something like that, ladies and gentlemen, right, what I said, okay, I accepted the challenge. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the real problem we have. Now what happened? I started staying there for 18 hours. It was the plan was 1 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. So that will be 18 hours. So after the alms, noon alms, so we have this alms like lunch, and then 1 p.m. 1 p.m. starts, whole night you can't sleep until 7 a.m. in the morning. So that's the 18-hour meditation program. You just have to stay one place and one walking track, and that's it. You have water bottle, and that's the mission. Could you imagine how many times I drink water? Usually now I don't drink water like that, right? Right? Ladies and gentlemen, the water bottle I always go and refill, because time to time, the clock and water bottle again, because this is the only survival. I'm talking serious problem here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you that we all have this problem, but you don't know that you have problem. As a result of that, you can't rest in peace. Our minds are not at peace. Our minds have this tremendous amount of burning sensation, burning in the mind. But we don't know that it is burning, we think it's normal. That's why you can't stay at one place without doing anything. This flower, is it complaining about being a flower and staying there? No, it's okay, right? See this water, the bowl, it's there. There's no pressure there. This water is not complaining being here for like now 1 hour. It will stay there forever. As long it stays, it can stay there. There's no problem, there's no issue, there's no void, there's no pressure. This is at peace, this is rest in peace, this is rest in peace, this is also rest in peace. How about this? Rest in peace. Do you understand that? Do you understand what I am talking about? The whole nature is at rest in peace. The nature doesn't have any problems. Nature doesn't have any void. Nature doesn't have any suffering. Nature doesn't have any pressure. But minds have a pressure. Minds are suffering. Minds have all this like void trying to fulfilling something, a missing piece. Minds are trying to find something. Minds are trying to fulfill something. Do you understand that? That's why, ladies and gentlemen, if you notice a boy, a baby boy, right? Can he stay there one place? Or he is going here and there, doing all these activities and roaming around there, here and there, he is moving here and to here. And he play with this, and after 1 minute, he keep the pen there and then take this and play with this and keep it that. Okay, now he fed up with that. He takes this now. Then he said, no, don't touch. You will break it. As long as you start saying that don't touch, he wanted to what? Touch. Now he thinks this is his missing piece. Do you have this kind of experience in your life or not? I want you to now contemplate. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a meditation. This is what we call guided awareness meditation. We create an awareness within your mind that you have something, you have a problem with yourself, but you don't know that you have a problem. You just have to look into your life, and you know that you are doing so many activities since you were born, day in and day out. You are trying to find solution, you are trying to find something missing piece always. Are you living in the present moment, or are you thinking about the next moment? When you watch YouTube video, are you looking at that video, or you are looking at the suggestions? What do you think? When you are watching a video, are you actually enjoying that video, or you're looking? You're planning to see the next one, but you can't enjoy this one. Because our minds are vexed to experience something new, something new, something new, something next. Always you are trying to jump to the next moment. Do you understand or not? You have to now contemplate. This is your life. This is what I am experiencing as my life. This is the solution I am going to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, think about when you die, when you were born, you had this problem, the mental vexation, the mental pressure. You had this. When you pass, you will have the same problem. Throughout your life, you were doing so many activities, so many variations of activities to cure, to compensate that pressure that generates in the mind. But at the end of the day, you haven't gained anything, because you came empty-handed, you leave empty-handed. You came with that pressure, you leave with that pressure. What have you done during your life to find a solution for that problem? I'm talking about that problem. What is that problem? The mental pressure. Do you understand this? Is there eraser? Oh, I can't see it. Sorry. Yes. No, that's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the iceberg theory. Do you remember the iceberg theory? In the iceberg, you have huge iceberg under the sea, right? Huge iceberg, but on top of the water level, you can see small, right? Throughout your life, you are taking so many actions to the problem that you think that you have, this part. But actually, each and every split second, your mind is having this much of pressure. But you don't know that you have this pressure. You were accustomed to that. Right now you have this, you are accustomed to that because you don't feel this. You have this. That's why if I ask you to stay in one place without doing anything, then you start to feel, I'm just asking you guys, when you come home after work, what do? You sit on the couch and you start watching TV. why are you watching TV, or why are you taking your phone? Can you please stay on the couch, right, seated in there, just relax, just stay there without doing anything? Can you do that? No, ladies and gentlemen, you start, even if you don't have anything to do, you start thinking. Your mind starts thinking about it creates hallucinations. There's an experiment that people have done. Sound zero chambers. Sound zero chambers means the chamber doesn't have any vibrations. It's they have minimalized the vibrations in that chamber. So when they these experiments have been done, that they have put people inside this chamber, switch off the lights, right? So they left them for 1 hour or 2 hours, 3 hours, and then get their experiences, what they felt. So no sound, no light. What do you think? They were enjoying. They were enjoying. You know what? Yeah, they were enjoying the sound of their blood vessels. The heart rate, at least that is there. When you don't feel all these vibrations, ladies and gentlemen, you start to feel the vibrations from the body. Those people have comment, at least when they hear the vibrations from the heart, they felt relief. Because of the pitch black, the black, no light in the chamber, they were hallucinating. They were thinking about, the stories, fairy tales, and all these things. People who, I don't know whether you have drugs or not. People who takes drugs, the illegal drugs, they create these hallucinations. One day I had a counseling session with one person who is addicted to drugs, and he was explaining. He can see sounds, he can see music. Are you watching music videos? No, I can see music. What? Yes, I can see music. How do you see music? Yes, when I play the music, I can see music. I was like puzzling what he is talking about. Then he said when he get this, it was about mushroom or something, I don't know, right? When he had this drug, then he can see the music, colors of the music. I can't actually understand what's going on there. Then I realized, in the brain there are 2 centers for auditory signals, the auditory center and optic center, right? Because of this drug, these centers get jammed and messed up. Because of the waves the pulses that trigger from the sound, it triggers the optic nerves as well. Now in the mind you feel what? Different colors. Have you experienced white color stars when you hit your head somewhere? Or when your father slapped you or something, you did something nasty, and when your father hit you, have you felt this? In the cartoons you have seen this, like when they fell down one place, like you can see the stars around and birds are flying. Right? Actually, you have this experience, right? It's not in the cartoons. If something happened to your head, it will happen. You will experience that. This is because of the auto pulses that generates from the nerves, optic nerves. So likewise, because of these drugs, now that person is experiencing weird colors in everywhere because of the music. That's nice experience, right? Okay, don't go beyond, don't go after these things, okay? I mean, at the moment we are abnormal, we don't know that we are abnormal, right? Don't go double abnormal, because it's really hard to come out and take you from there. So now what happened right now, we think that we are okay even though we are crazy, right? So if you take these drugs and do something else to you, then you are actually going to the next level of the craziness. That's double crazy. So it's really hard to bring you back. So you have to, the teacher has to bring you to the first level craziness and to the wisdom. So it's a long journey. So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, he was addicted to that because of that colorful things that he can see. And he told me, when he get bored, he use this drug and he start listening to music, and he can see so many beautiful colors and beautiful things, so he enjoy that life. It's weird, isn't it? No, ladies and gentlemen, life that you spend also weird, but we don't think that we are spending weird life, because we think that we are spending normal life. We have this mental pressure. The other day I had a chance to talk to the group of prisoners in the jail, like people who are in the jail in Italy. When we went there, they were also wearing same color, the jumper or something, the cloth, the costume. And so I had a chance to talk to them. What I said, I also get free food, you also get free food. I don't work, you don't work. You are wearing the same color costume, I am also wearing the same color costume. If my teacher give permission to me, I will travel, otherwise I will stay in the monastery. So if these jailers, if they allow you, then you can go out and come, because sometimes they go out, right? You can go out and come, but you are unhappy, I am happy. We both have the same conditions. I am living my life, you are not living your life. You can't enjoy this life, you could think that you are in a jail. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, I can't understand why these people feel that they are in a prison, because actually outside is also what? Actually, I asked them, do you think the people who live in outside, do they enjoy? Do you really think? Are you guys enjoying your life, or you are paying mortgages, rent, electricity bills, phone bills, that bill, what do you have? Parking fines. I wrote all these things in one place, one side, and then I asked, okay, now tell me what are the problems that you have to solve? You don't have parking fine, you don't have mortgage, you don't have phone bill, you don't have anything. You get something to eat, you get medicine, you get free food, you get place to stay, you have a bed, you have somebody is cleaning even your toilet. And then you are saying that you are in a jail and these people are living a free life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next level craziness that we live. Because of this mental pressure, that's why they feel that they are in a jail. You don't feel that you are in a jail, because you have so many variations of, you have a vivid life, variations in your life to compensate this pressure. Do you understand this? The people who are in the jail, they have very unique and similar things. They don't have these variations. But your life is beautiful, vivid. You can listen to so many musics, variations. So I came from Auckland, Rome to Auckland. The flight was, Dubai to Auckland flight was 16 hours or 17 hours flight, and it was Emirates, and they have this entertainment system, this, it's big screen. Even though it's economy, you have a little bit bigger screens. I didn't listen, I didn't watch anything, I just doing meditation. I can stay like this, and I didn't sleep as well. I just stayed like this. Whenever they give food, I had it, and then like this. I'm happy. The next people, like the people who sat next to me, they start watching a movie as soon as they entered the flight. Even before the flight take off, start watching a movie, and after 1.5 hour movie finished, and check 17 hours to go, 15.5 hours to go. Okay, then soon after finish that movie, start another movie, and that 1.5 hour that was finished. And now what? 14 hours to go. While they have the food, they watch the movie. And I was actually now, I can see now what he's doing, right? They were like one son and father. Son and father, their wife and daughter is in the front seat. I can see they also watch movies, and these people are watching movies. Nothing to do. Lucky, I think unfortunately, they said that unfortunately you don't have Wi-Fi connection on this flight. Now no texting, no messaging, now you are isolated. But that entertainment system is there to survive. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, they didn't sleep as well. They were watching movies continuously. Watching, and I can see their eyes are red, and it almost just very close to burst. But they keep watching movies. Now try to, why they do that? Nothing to do. I found at some point that they are sleeping, the movie is playing, and after, when they wake up, they put back the video to the beginning again and watch that movie again. And before they take off, that Emirates, they have this, introduction or something, that they introduce, okay, you have so many variations of movies and all this entertainment, you can do this and that. Ladies and gentlemen, entertainment means what? You need entertainment because you have untamed mind. Entertainment is something, a solution, something, a Panadol for this headache. Panadol can't cure headache, ladies and gentlemen. Panadol can give you, paracetamol can give you a temporary solution. You understand that? Likewise, we don't know how this mental pressure arises in our mind. We just keep doing same thing again and again with different variations. So many variations. That's why you have vivid life, but at the end of the day, you haven't gained anything out of this life. Whatever you have gained, you have to leave. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, queen and the pawn goes back to the box after the game. As long as the game is there, queen is queen and pawn is pawn. But after the game, these are just piece of wood. The chessboard. You need to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we came here. This is why I want you to realize yourself. I want you to follow this path, because we found the mechanism that generates this. Now tell me, ladies and gentlemen, even though you are a Muslim, Islam believer, even though you are a believer in the God, even though you believe in Buddhism, even though you believe in science, you believe in that and this and that and this and that, many beliefs, do you have this or not? Look at a dog, they also have this. Have you seen, these animals? Their actions are so fast. Why? Just notice that. Jumping here and there. You know why? They can't stay at one place because of the vexation, because of the pressure. Why do people dance? The musical shows, they dance, right? Why do they dance? When you listen to music, what do you like? Do you do like this? You nod your head, right? Are you accepting what the music is saying? No, you are doing this because of what? You feel relief. You feel micro reliefs in each nodding. I want you to understand the depth of this problem first. So morning is the problem, right? And try to find the problem. In the afternoon, we will find the solution. You don't need to find a solution, ladies and gentlemen. When you realize how this problem manifests, that's the solution. Do you agree with this? Whatever that are you accepting or rejecting? I'm asking from you guys, because you have this experience. You have to understand that you have this kind of, agitation always in your mind. That's why you take the phone. When you see this red color, the Facebook or something, the button, and you see red color 46 like this, you can't, your mind feels so many pressure when you see this. You press this button not because that you need to see the notification, ladies and gentlemen. You have tremendous amount of pressure, that's why you click it. But you don't feel that it's a pressure because you think that's normal. Let's say you take the phone out and you don't have any notification. Then also you feel pressure, whether your connection is lost or not. When you have notification, you have the pressure. When you don't have notification, you also have the pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, when you have money, you have the pressure. When you don't have money, you have the pressure. If you go and ask from Elon Musk, are you free now? No, I'm busy. If you go and ask from a beggar who doesn't have any thing in there with him, he also say what? I'm busy. Let's say somebody came from that door, and when the door opened, we hear the sound from the door, right? Can you stay like this, looking at me, or you automatically your face will, your posture will change automatically, ladies and gentlemen, without any intention. You want to see what's going on. Don't worry, you won't get a trophy or medal after you've seen this, but you have this pressure. That's why you see that. That's why you look at that side. That's why, have you listened to these psychologists that they say a small amount of stress is useful for the living. The stress is not something bad. The level of stress is required for living. I I'm okay with that, because they don't know why this stress manifests, because stress is there in the mind because of this mental pressure. Nobody in this world lives on this world without this mental pressure. If you are an enlightened one, if you have come across the reality, if you have realized the reality, you don't feel this. As a result of that, you are now rest in peace. Actually, you found inner peace. Ladies and gentlemen, inner peace comes within. Inner peace, you can't find inner peace from missing pieces. Not pieces, pieces. You collect so many pieces from the world, right, to find the peace. But you don't find the peace. You will find always pieces. At the end of the day, you have so many pieces, but you don't have peace. Pardon for pun. You have so many pieces at your house, but you don't have the peace. Peace. Not pieces, peace. All the advertisements are changing your mind, ladies and gentlemen. Because of this mental pressure, everybody can control you. Control you means like everybody can show you advertisements and make you force you to buy that thing. It's not they're not forcing you. They just show you the same advertisement again and again and again and again. And after, when you go through the aisle of the supermarket, then what happened? You automatically buy that product. How did you take that decision? Because of what? The advertisement. Why do they have brand ambassadors? Do you think brand ambassadors, they select brand ambassadors that people like nobody knows? Do they select brand as brand ambassadors? Those people are not famous. Do they select those people that people are not famous? No, they select famous ones as the brand ambassadors, because famous means that they have this good reputation. When you see them, you know, I know him, I love him. Because of that, when he is using that product, your mind is catching, he is using that, okay, I should use that as well. That's how it works. This is the marketing. I'm not teaching you how to market, okay? I'm telling you that everybody is using this mental pressure that you have, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody have an answer for this. Stress, anxiety, depression, how do you? DEPP? 1P, right? Depression. Stress, anxiety, depression. All these things are here. They are not the serious problems. This is the serious problem. These things manifest in mind because of this. You have that right now. This. You are living with this ghost, but you don't have a solution for this, because you don't know how this ghost manifests in your mind. Do you understand this? You can ask questions if.
The mental pressure you talk about, I'm starting to realize what that is. However, I don't see how I can rest in peace forever. I want a life that has meaning and purpose. So since I retired, I volunteer with the elderly. I visit them in hospital. I help them to use their technology, and that reduces the mental pressure because I feel I'm making a difference. If I get put back in the chess box at the end and I've done nothing, I will feel that my life has been worthwhile and not been worthwhile.
Yes, sir. All the actions that you do, everything that you have done after you retire, right? I'm not asking you to stop anything. These actions that you have done, you can do that, right? But the thing is, when you do those things, you feel satisfaction. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. The satisfaction you felt is a fallacy. That's the thing. The satisfaction you felt happens because of the reduction of this pressure. When you do something, you feel, that because of this pressure. All the actions that you have done, you can continue. If you don't have this pressure, you can continue those actions that you have done 100% giving attention to them. Now you are doing for your satisfaction as well. Because you feel something satisfied. You know, when you feel satisfaction, ladies and gentlemen, that satisfaction has associated with this mental pressure. Do you understand that? When you have this mental pressure, you do some action, you feel relief. That is the satisfaction you felt.
For me, attachment is something that, and validation is something that controls that mental pressure.
Oh, yeah. Today afternoon, we'll discuss how this manifests in the mind. Do you understand this? How this come to the in the mind. How this manifests in the mind. We'll discuss about that in the afternoon. Buddha found a solution for this. Jesus explained the solution for this. That's why Jesus have said, "Come to me, those who are weary and burdened, I shall give you the rest in peace." The weary and burden means weary from this mental pressure, burden from this mental pressure. But when you read the Bible, you feel the surface meaning. The surface meaning, weary and burden, means you feel like you're working hard and carrying so many things. No, ladies and gentlemen, he is talking about this weary and burden from this pressure. The Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna about this pressure. In the Mahayana Buddhism, they explain about this pressure. The Buddha has explained how this pressure manifests and the way to get rid of it. This is our common ground. This is our main problem, but we don't know that there's a problem because we are trying to find solution for these things.
Have mental pressure?
The level that I had before is very low now. Lower level, reduced. You know that I can stay like this. Because when I look at like this, I'm doing some contemplation. That contemplation actually, we'll explain that these things. Like actually, it eradicates the process that generates the pressure. It's not calming down. Because of the realization, this pressure won't appear. Realization can kill the pressure.
So at the same time that you are talking, you are contemplating?
While I'm talking, I'm contemplating. When we contemplate while we talk, that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I can convince you this theory. Otherwise, if I don't feel it, from my heart, I can explain a theory, you won't grasp it. You won't feel it. It will be like you are reading a book. It's like learning how to swim from a book. Can you do that? No. You have to jump into the pool. You need to find a teacher, you need to find a person who actually understood, who realized, and who actually contemplate and right now as well. This is what I found from my teacher. That's why I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we have a solution for this. Not a solution for this, but we know how this manifests. When you know that, that stops the manifestation.
So, do you see in a different way? So, in a different way that we see?
We'll explain this. Seeing, decision. You're seeing, sight process, seeing process, and then there's a decision process in your mind. Because of these teachings, this has changed. As a result of that, I'm sensing the reality, but I can see the same way that you see, but I don't feel in that way. I'll show you a video and I'll explain that. But in the next half an hour, I want to condition yourself before we go to this theory to explain all these things. So far, so good. Are you happy with this right now? Are you enjoying this, or you just interessante in Italian? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the case. What is the Newton's third law? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Agree? Agree? Because you know that, because you learned that, you have experimented that. Every action is an equal and opposite reaction. Agree? Man reap what he sow. Don't deceive the God. You can't deceive the God. Man reap what he sow. This is in the Bible. Man reap what he sow means whatever that you receive is the way that you grew or harvest. You harvest because the way that you what do you call? Planted. Man reap what he sow. Not sow means sow, but sow. Right? 𝗘𝗃𝗃 𝗃𝗿𝗃. That's in Hindi, Bhagavad Gita. What goes around must comes around. That's in Taoism. What goes up must comes down. That's Newton. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. Do you see any similar theory with all these religions and science? Is it similar or not? What you give is what you get. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to get rid of this pressure, you need to find how this pressure manifested in our mind. Because you need to understand the problem first. Do you understand that? In order to do so, you need to get the reality, you need to get the understanding of this truth. Agree? In order to get the truth, you have to give the truth. Now, this is the $1 million question. If you don't know the truth, how to give the truth? This is the trap, ladies and gentlemen. This is the perfect trap we enjoy. If you give truth, then you will get truth. Right? But we don't have the truth. How to give the truth? If you don't give the truth, you won't get the truth. It's like catch-22. Have you come across catch-22? It's like this. The school that teaches how to cross the road is located opposite side of the road. You are here. You want to cross the road in order to learn how to cross the road. You are here. You have to cross the road to learn how to cross the road. You can't cross the road because you don't know how to cross the road. So you have to cross the road in order to learn how to cross the road. Am I telling cross the road, cross the road, cross the road? You understand that? This is like a catch-22, ladies and gentlemen. There's a nice quote. If you can't give wisdom, give to someone who gives wisdom. There you go. If you can't give wisdom, give to someone who gives wisdom. Now you are supporting for the wisdom. As a result of that, you will get the wisdom. Now you don't have the truth. You don't know the truth. Because you haven't given the truth. Actually, you can't give the truth because you don't know the truth. Now what we can do, we can give to someone who realizes the truth. As a result of that, you will get the truth. Do you understand this? Now think about all the rituals that people are doing to these statues and all these, Jesus and I had a chance to visit the Saint Basilica. I met even Pope last day. We had a chance to meet Pope, and I don't know how somehow it happened. And we had a chance to discuss this theory with the personal secretary of Pope, and he was so interested about this and what we have been doing so far, and they are really happy about us that doing such kind of activity that that explains Bible and science and everything. Now it's going to be next level, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know when we will go, which point we will go now. Yes. So anyway, in there also, people donate, people offer, people get blessings. People give something to Pope and they get the blessings. All these things. Pope says, do like this, and in the Bible, in the Christian culture, they welcome like this. Have you seen the Pope's action? Like this, always. You welcome. All these things are aligning with this. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, when I was young, when I was small, my mom asked me to worship the Buddha. Buddha has realized this. That's why she asked me to offer to him. That means not to offer to that statue. Offer to the wisdom, not to the Buddha.
So in reality, it's an act to ourselves?
Actually, let's say I have this. I'm giving this to you. This is something I feel giving to you. Likewise, when you give to the Buddha, you feel you're giving to the Buddha. That means you're giving to not the Buddha person, but the Dhamma, the realization he came across. We respect Thomas Alva Edison because he invented the light bulb. The knowledge that he has gained, That's why we respect Thomas Alva Edison. We don't respect to that flesh and blood. Because of the knowledge that we respect. Do you understand that? Likewise, we respect to the Buddha, we give to the Buddha, we offer to the Buddha, not to the Buddha, but to this wisdom. When you give to the wisdom, you will get the condition to receive the wisdom. Now, is it logical or not? It is logical, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we have been doing. I was questioning all the time from my mum why we have to do this. And he said, shut up and do it. What she have said to me, shut up and do it. And I did it. As a result of that, I received it. Then I know why my mum has asked me to do so. Sometimes you ask from your teacher say, no, you don't have condition to learn this right now. Do this as I say so, you will understand later. But because of very curiosity kills the cat, right? This curiosity, you won't do that. You will be questioning. Right? All these Zen Buddhist stories, you will find that some monks, like when they come to these teachers, they said, okay, don't question, do as I say so, you will find the reality. When you go through these Zen Buddhist stories, you will find these kind of conversation, dialogues. Don't come to me and ask things. I have given everything, you do that. You will realize it. That's how this works, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to, today, now we all have a chance to do something like this. Do you understand that we give to the wisdom, we don't give to the person, we don't give to these statues, we don't believe in these statues, we don't believe in this, the things. What we are doing is we are offering what we have to the wisdom. Actually, your minds are suffering because mind hasn't given something to the wisdom. That's why mind didn't receive the wisdom. Now what we do, we give to the wisdom. As a result of that, you get the condition to receive the wisdom. So that's why the first session I didn't explain anything. I just want you to try to understand that you have a huge problem. At the same time, now I'm telling you that if you can, let's get together, let's do the Buddha Puja. And it's very scientific, ladies and gentlemen. Now I know why we do these things. Because when you do these things, you can 10:30 I will finish and they will. Yeah. You will get a chance to offer something to the Buddha's alms bowl, so you can participate that, right? So during that actions, don't think that you are doing something for the Buddha statue. No, you are giving these qualities. In the food we have a quality. What is the quality you have in the food? In food. Why do you eat food? Energy, refreshment, energy, right? Now, when you offer energy, you get energy to understand the reality. It has deeper meanings, ladies and gentlemen, all these things. People offer water to the Buddha. Water has a quality of soothing or eradicating fire, extinguishing fire, cooling down, cools down. There's a quality in the water, characteristic of the water. It cools down. Likewise, when you give water to the Buddha, now you are creating condition in your mind to cool down this pressure. So all these actions have something meaningful, logic gate that underneath, but you need to realize that first. When my mama told me, worship it, offer it, and I said, no. Then I had to do so when I was young. But today I am doing it wholeheartedly, because I know as long as I do that, my mind is having a condition. I am creating a condition in my mind to receive, to contemplate, to realize the reality. Do you understand, madam? Do you understand, sir, about this? So far, so good. Like, this is not something that you did. You don't have to become a Buddhist. You don't have to become a Christian. You don't have to become the religious follower, ladies and gentlemen. These things are just offering to that wisdom. Even you offer to the Jesus Christ, what you are doing is offering to the wisdom. You can't offer to Jesus Christ because Jesus Christ is now no longer here. Right? Have you seen when you offer to the Buddha, have you seen Buddha is eating that? No. You offer to the Buddha means not the Buddha as a person, you offer to the knowledge, wisdom. Agree? Okay. Now, so like you get a chance. Now you will get a chance. You will get 2 chances now, like 3. One thing, the first one, we get together. We'll create the Buddha Puja, the parade. You will get a chance to offer to the Buddha's alms bowl, whatever that food that we have arranged. At the same time, we can offer to the Buddha the wisdom, and then we'll chant the Buddha Puja, and after that you will serve whatever that you want to energize your body onto your plate. Do you understand? There will be a buffet or something. You go there, you serve the food that we provide you to your plate, and monk will come towards you as Pindapata. So you can offer something that you have served for yourself, small portion you can offer to the Swamin Wahanse, Pante. Remember, if you can't give wisdom, give to somebody who gives wisdom. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this action will create the condition to understand the Dhamma. To understand, Dhamma means the reality. Dharma means the reality. There's no Jesus Dharma, Buddha's Dharma, Jesus' Dharma, this Dharma. Dharma means Dharma. Dharma means the same Dharma, reality. Are you happy to do that? Shall we get together and do that? Okay. So now we will conclude the session. Before I conclude, now you have some time to ask questions if you want to clear something here, what we have discussed. Did you understand, madam? You came late, and I discussed about the mental pressure that we have, but we don't feel it as a pressure. We feel that we are living a normal life, but every split second our mind is under vexation, searching for something new, something different, something changed, something you are searching for a change always.
You say that because of your family, you practice Buddhism.
Sorry?
You practice this religion.
Yeah.
So, what happened? What changed after your PhD that you decided to go in this journey?
So, when I was doing it's a story. When I met my girlfriend back in the first degree, when I was doing undergrads, and she wanted to go to the temple, and I said, no, I can't go. I don't want to go to the temple because I don't like going there. I want to become a scientist. Then he said, no, let's go. Happy wife, happy life. So I went there. And then she said, we had a nice conversation. She asked me, do you believe that somebody called Buddha exists in the past? Then I said, yes. And she asked, the second question is, do you believe that he has explained something extraordinary but we don't know it? Then I said, yes, I agree with that. Then she said, okay, why don't we search about it? That's the starting point of my life, searching for this, the missing piece. Right? I read the books and I read all these books and I couldn't find anything, because when you read the book, ladies and gentlemen, you don't understand what Buddha has explained, because when you read the book, you understand the way that you understand. You will understand today afternoon, today, that you haven't realized this before. Then we went to Australia, like we came to Australia to do the PhD, and we were just enjoying our life and musical shows, and I even started the event management company or something, like everything is going smoothly. And one day we stumbled across a talk on YouTube from that teacher, my teacher, and he was explaining about this theory. I was impressed, I was amused with that, and then we both started listening to, following him. As a result of that, 2022 April, we decided to live, lay life, and to practice, to give our maximum 100% our lifetime to practice this, because I found that this is the only solution we have to do. Once we have done this, it will be the end. Proof is in the pudding. Now he doesn't have to look after children. He doesn't have to look after children. He doesn't have to pay mortgages. He doesn't have to pay insurances. He doesn't have to find food. Who? Buddha. And all the disciples, great Ariyatun Vahanses, people who have become enlightened. They don't have to do anything like what we do. But Elon Musk, even though he is the richest person in this world, he has to do all these things. Then we realize, okay, let's give 6 months, 1 year out of our life and practice this, and then decide, whether we come back or not. We went there. After 6 months, we both decided, this is heaven here. What we have been doing is something, suffering for the happiness. Like we suffer today for tomorrow's happiness, right? We suffer today for tomorrow's happiness. When it comes to tomorrow, we suffer today for tomorrow's happiness. When it comes to tomorrow, it's today. Now we suffer today for tomorrow's happiness. So we won't find anything like this. So we discussed like this, and we went. And now I know that I am not a Buddhist. I am not following a religion. It's not a religion, ladies and gentlemen. This is the theory, this is the Dhamma, this is the reality. That's it. Tonight you will understand all these. The religious textbooks are explaining about this, but on the surface. In the surface meaning, you can't understand that. You have to read between the lines. Have you come across this Holy Trinity? The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Anicca Dukkha Anatta. It's the same thing. The Buddhism it explained, but you have to be very clever, and you have to realize what he meant by saying this. This is not an art. Your life is not an art, ladies and gentlemen. It's logical. It's something you need to understand. It's a science. There's a science behind it. There's a mechanism behind it. When you realize that, mental pressure will be not there, won't be there. Ready? Are we ready? Today you will find that it's glad you chose to come here. I know that if you understood, you will understand that why I said that. Because the way we perceive the world is utter wrong. It's wrong. The way that we took the decision is wrong. Throughout this time, you were seeing this flower arrangement, right? Bouquet or plant. It's the same plant, right? Is it the same plant? When you came to this room, it was here, and now it is here, right? It's the same plant, right? Yes. Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it? Yes or no? Yes. No. This is not the same plant. In fact, there was no plant. And there is no plant, but you see a plant. This is the science we are going to understand. You can see me, right? Can you see me? Can you see me? I am the same Bhante that was speaking throughout these 2 hours, right? No. This is my world I live in. Don't worry, I'm not having drugs. I'm not on drugs, right? But I respond to you, I speak with you, I act normally. Do you feel I'm weird or I'm having a normal life? I mean, I'm speaking with you, right? Hello, 𝗘𝗃𝗧. Yes. Hello, how are you? Yes. When you realize the reality, ladies and gentlemen, you know the logic of the magic. When you know the logic of the magic is not a magic anymore because you know the logic behind the magic. Still you can see the magic, but that magic won't be a magic. When you know the logic of the magic ends, but still you can see the magic. But there's no magic for you. Everybody else, there's a magic, but for you, you know the logic. As a result of that, there's no magic to you, but still you see the same thing.
How it feels at the beginning? You start to observe. It's not like shocking your
mind blowing. Don't worry, we'll explain. You will understand this. I'm 100% sure that you can understand. You have the merits. You have done all these good deeds to understand, realize this. That's why, in order to add cherry on top, we are doing these offerings to the Buddha. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you realize that, you will understand, my God, Buddha is the Buddha, is the Buddha. Yeah, now, okay. Can you see the flower pot? This what do you call this? What is this? Flower pot? Huh? It's not a bouquet, right? Okay. Am I touching the same thing? Yes. That's what we feel. That's the great deception we live in. When you understand this, ladies and gentlemen, you can understand the mysteries in the science that even scientists still struggle to explain. Now I know, sooner than later, we will find the way to explain this double slit experiment, and it will be the Nobel Prize. You can explain all these things now. That's why I told you, this is the theory of everything. One theory explains everything. Today you will find who is this God, you will find who is this, all these religions belief set. Actually they are not religion, ladies and gentlemen. They explain this theory according to the people who live there. If I know the reality, if I go to a place, can I explain something that I learn, or I have to explain using their terms, what what that colony is using, what their belief set. I can't actually break their belief set. I can use that belief set to explain the reality. That's why you can see so many variations of same truth.